Hello everyone, thanks for clicking and checking in on my new video. Since Standard has rotated with the new Temporal Forces, I figured I would make what feels a pretty mid deck, but it's still pretty fun to play. It's very simple, you just put 3 to 4 Crown EXs onto your bench, back up Miraidon and then a Miraidon in your active. You're going to want to swing using the first and second attack to either accelerate energy or deal damage. We also include an Iron Leaves, 2 of them actually, in order to deal with any weaknesses that arise from Roaring Moon or Charizard EX. There will be a link in the description that will take you to the full deck list if you're interested. Having said that, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we've gotten into our first match here. And it looks like we do not get to choose if we go first or second. Normally in this meta, your opponent will choose to go second, either to capitalize on attacking first or being able to use a supporter. In this case, our opponent's chosen to go first, so we get to do what we want to do anyways. This hand looks miserable. Okay, so we'll set our basic down. Hopefully we top deck something like Techno Radar or something. I don't know. This hand is bad. I'm very much considering using Morty's Conviction instead of Professor Research because I really like to hold on to the Switch card and Future Booster Capsule, as well as the 2 of the 14 energy that we run. Right, so our opponent is looking to fill up their bench. So if we use Morty's, we're missing out on 3 cards in this case over Professor's Research. And we top deck an energy. Awesome. I am going to go ahead and use Morty's, discarding my grass energy. Hopefully we find something good. Not. Discard an energy. Okay. I think we're cooked. Set a switch cart into the Greninja there just in case anything happens. I don't really know. I just don't want them taking 2 prize cards, putting them out in an even when my main attack is a single prize makes more sense to me. Our opponent decides to evolve into a Pidgeot EX. Attaches for turn on to a Charmander, plays a Collapse Stadium. Quick searches for a Professor's Research or an Iono. In this case, it's a Research. And now we have to wait and see if they found a rare candy and some form of Charizard, either the card itself or Ultra Ball. We also have no stadiums or stadium bumps, as Path of Thieves rotated. I didn't think it was necessary, so that Collapse is going to stay in there for until they don't want it. Later on, I do end up changing it to adding 2 Artisans. I'm gonna Techno Radar, discarding Counter Catcher because it's not useful here since we're taking the first prize. I'm gonna find Miraidon and an Iron Leaves, or an Iron Crown, sorry. You can also see here that I've I'm grabbing 2 Miraidons, I guess. I'm recording this post and I don't remember what exactly I did this match or why I did it. Okay. we're gonna retreat, putting up Miraidon, attaching a Psychic Energy to it, and we're probably gonna use... not that. Don't use that. Oh, okay, use that. So this was a bit of a mistake here. I could have just not researched and held on to it. There's no real need to do this, especially since that's the only Iron Leaves that we have right now. We priced the other one. We super brought it back in. We have a Techno Radar to get it back out. That was a really bad on my part. Should not have done that. Gonna go ahead and accelerate the 2 electric energy onto the Miraidon so I can swing for it for 220 next turn, if needed. Take our first prize. Bosses. Fantastic. Promote it. Promotes Pidgeot to EX. 8 cards in hand. I'm gonna search for whatever piece they're missing for their Charizard. That's what I would do. Yeah, Rare Candy, Charizard EX. So we're gonna find 2 on Self and I believe 1 on Pidgeot, which does matter. I'm not exactly sure why they attached to Pidgeot. Maybe just in case they could have a backup attacker, I guess. I don't know. It's a choice. I don't really understand why they did it. Anyways, I don't think they do anything else on this turn. They just swing for knockout on my Miraidon, going down to 5. Oh no, actually they used the fun new Ace Spec card. I remember now. They search out an Arven. I was like, not a boss. This is a bit weird. They Arven for a switch and I don't remember what else. Something else. Switch and some. I think it's the gloves. Vitality gloves. Am I right? I know it's a switch. Vitality band. There you go. I don't know why I said gloves. Vitality band. We prime catcher into the wrong Iron Crown. Mistake on their part. Vitality band attached to the Charizard, even though it does not need it. Swings for 400 something damage. 440, there you go. We're gonna promote our dude. Yeah, I have access to a lot of fun things now. Techno Radar, discarding Morty's Conviction. Least useful card here. Please don't. I don't even know why I put that in there. That makes 0 sense. We're gonna find Iron Leaves and a Miraidon. And a Miraidon. Okay. There you go. No. Okay. I'm assuming it's for damage in case. Oh, we might actually need it for the. I think we do need it in order to knock out the fish. I don't know. We're gonna do this looking for random cards that we don't care about that also don't affect the game. I'm gonna decide on a Super Rod and Counter Catcher or something. There you go, yeah. Cards that don't matter. We're gonna play Iron Leaves for turn. Going to attach a grass, an electric, and a grass from hand in order to knock out the active Charizard. we attach the we attach that there because our opponent isn't gonna knock it out. Let me re-verbalize that. We attach the Future Booster Capsule to the Iron Crown because the damage doesn't matter on any of our Pokemon right now, and sorry, the damage increase doesn't matter on any of our Pokemon right now. And I have a feeling that this person might try to boss up the Iron Crown later to stall for time, so that you can get another Charizard setup, which is a smart plan. Big brain, Mega Mon. He very obviously gets another Charizard setup here. We can already see what's happening here. We're attaching 2. The reason that I was checking the discard pile was to see how much energy is left in the deck. The answer is 2. Unless he runs an odd number of energy, which I guess, I don't know. We're going to find a switch effect and a Seal Stone. I don't remember if we activate the Seal Stone or not. It's a Charizard, 2 energy. We promote this guy. We're not going to attack with him. We're going to retreat into the other Miraidon that has all the energy on it. Maybe. The point that makes the most sense here is to attack with the Miraidon. Sorry, to boss. Excuse me. The plan that makes the most sense here is to Cryptomaniac whatever why am I doing that? Right. I'm going to pause for a second. The thing that would have made the most sense there would have been to use Cryptomaniacs to put a energy retrieval and a counter catcher on the top of my deck, discard the grass energy to draw 2 with Radiant Greninja, using energy retrieval to get 2 grass energy back, attaching 1 to the whatever, the energy or the Greninja probably. I don't remember. Let me look up Iron Leaves real quick. Yeah, took Greninja since its other Pokemon to this Pokemon. Because it's like, it doesn't matter what we attach it to, because if he has bosses, he wins the game, killing Iron Crown. But in a normal setting, if we were this late into the game, we would attach to Greninja because Greninja's worth 1 prize instead of 2. It's effectively the same thing. Then we would Super Rod the person in the Iron Leaves back in. Excuse me. Holding Techno Radar for whatever. The end result is that we have 2 grass energy, well, 1 grass energy attached for turn on something, 1 grass energy in hand, a way to get Iron Leaves with the Techno Radar, and we will have 1 extra energy sitting on the second Miraidon here, which allows us to take the 2 prizes on Charizard for the win. Assuming that the Charizard player with a setup Pidgeot EX here doesn't have a way to find the bosses first. It does. The rest of this game does not matter, as you're not able to take 3 prizes in 1 turn, and our opponent has all of the boss's orders in hand or in deck. Yeah, all of the boss's orders are in hand or in deck. All right, here's our second and gonna be our last match. We get to go second again. Wonderful. Okay, so here's our second match. We get to go second. This is a pretty abysmal start since we have 2 Artisan in hand. We already have our non-Roblox Pokemon that we've won. We can put the Artisan in to find a second Miraidon, but our bench is going to be pretty stuffed here since we decided for Ninja. We are versus another. We are versus this really goofy deck called the Swing. Our opponent doesn't have Pokemon. So benches Sableye, Pokestops, spins the Pokestop, gets a switch, and that card that's blank except for all this writing is the V-Star that just looks super wonky. Our opponent's going to attach return, switch into the Sableye, and pass. It's going to go to our turn. We're going to top deck another Miraidon with an energy. We are going to discard an energy to Ninja and find another Miraidon. Committing to the attached return, because that's basically what we're going to do. Discarding a Psychic. It's like, oh, hey, some cards that we're not going to use. Great. There's one Pokemon play we're not going to use, Marty's Conviction. We get a Nest Ball, we're going to find an Iron Crown, which gets us one step closer to knocking the Sableye this turn. We're not going to put a Stadium down because that just is an advantage to our opponent at this point. They get to search out a basically Comfy. We don't want that to happen. We take our little knock here. Attach 2 energy to our active because there doesn't appear to be a way for this to get knocked out. Our opponent would have to have 4 Comfy interactions or some combination of 4 in the boss zone in order to attack the Cramorant that they don't even have on bench. Their only way to search it out is if they run Artisan as well or an Nest Ball. But they should be prioritizing Comfy, not something they can attack. I just weighed the odds, and it seemed more beneficial to just put it on active. I did not have to. With this hand, I could have put 1 Psychic, 1 Electric on the Miraidon on a bench, and then attached return with the Electric in hand. We also have 3 Blue Pod in hand. When it's counter captured, we have a switch card in hand, so this is fine. We're going to get Iono, so we don't have the switch card, that's not fine. But I think we get a future booster capsule. We do. And the future booster capsule allows us to get our Miraidon back in play. Now here I could have killed the Comfy. Well, I'll wait until it goes back to my turn and explain further. Nothing really happens here. Yeah, it goes back to my turn. So we top deck an energy retrieval, it's fine. We're gonna immediately use concealed cards, discarding one of the grass, drawing another capsule on a boss's, spinning Pokestop, getting nothing off of it. Nothing. We spun the Pokestop so that I didn't have to waste my future booster capsule. It's fine because we have that one. I'm gonna put up a Miraidon. It makes more sense to put this onto our backup that's on the bench than this one. But that is okay. And it makes more sense because there's a Cramorant that can knock it out. Bunch of third Iron Crowns. Oh, sorry. The reason that it makes sense is because we had the third Iron Crown, so we don't need the we don't need the capsule to get to the 220. We do take a huge lead there by knocking out the Goodra. They promote Comfy with an energy attached. Flowers. Putting what looks like a Giovanni passes into the Lost Zone. Spinning Pokestop, finding Lost Vacuum. Chorus. Pitching a Beach Port and a Nest Ball. Use a Buddy Buddy Poffin in order to find 2 more Comfies. Sorry, a Comfy and a Manaphy. Like, yes, he's worried about me taking prizes with. I don't understand why they grabbed the Manaphy. I'm assuming it's because they read Iron Crown and were concerned about the 50 damage. But the 50 damage ignores the effects on Pokemon anyways. Maybe, I don't know. The Manaphy was a weird play. You should have just grabbed another Comfy. This person does do something really cool near the end, which I'll explain once we get there. So we attach return onto Goodra, and I think we just swing with the Cramorant, knock out my right off. And the future booster capsule does matter, by the way, here. That I put on this Miraidon instead of my benched one. You don't think it would have mattered in the long term, because I'm pretty sure he would have just gotten rid of it with that Lost Vacuum instead of the one that's on this Iron Crown. We're going to promote there. We find it anyways, so we can still knock out, I believe. Checking the radar, finding Iron Leaves and a Miraidon. Last 2 in the deck. I'm gonna conceal, getting rid of the grass energy. Finding a Reboot Pod. I think I decided to use Reboot Pod here. So, I do want to explain real quick. The reason that I'm thinking now is because before I wasn't able to knock out the Goodra, but now I am because of Reboot Pod. Reboot Pod allows me to put 3, in this case I'm putting 3 graphs on the little Iron Crowns here, and then 1 onto active that's a Psychic, because all 4 Psychic energy are in the discard. We're going to put an Iron Crown down. We are going to, or an Iron Leaf, sorry, not an Iron Crown, Iron Leaves. We can use its ability to attach the 3 grass energy that are on our Iron Crowns to the Iron Leaves. And then we are going to boss up the Goodra, because we can kill it this turn, and that's very important in this matchup, apparently. We're going to put 2 energy in hand, and we're going to sprout 3 more. Boss up the Goodra, knock it out. Putting us at a 4 prize card lead. Now here's where everything stops going my way. I've not been paying attention to what my opponent's Lost Zone is at. I believe it gets to 10 this turn. Not that that matters, because they're not playing Tina. But 7 does matter. This deck is funny, by the way. This Goodra deck. I think it's hilarious. So they Thornton. I was like, uh-oh. Ruh-roh, putting a Goodra back in, evolving into Goodra V-Star, using a Mirage Gate to put 2 energy on, and then 1 from hand. Swinging for 200. I have a counter catcher in hand, but that doesn't do anything because I'm at 1 prize. They swing for 200. It goes to my turn. I switch cart my Verizon out. Well, sorry, I attach for turn. We're gonna do our cycling that we've done every single turn. We discard a card to Greninja, and then we focus stop. Nothing really helps us here that I can think of. I'm just putting cards on top in the order that I want to get them. Pushing for 160. It's our opponent's turn. Our opponent does this cool thing because they top decked it. Or no, they didn't top deck it. Get it off this course. It's really funny. I don't like it. Welcome to the new ace spec for Goodra. Maybe. Hero's Cape. So now this beast has 370 health, and its V-Star ability just heals it completely. And at this point, I'm like, ruh-roh. And I'm not gonna lie, I was getting ready to concede this match and just go on to the next one. But then I saw my out. My opponent needs to take 3 prize cards. I should not, and I want to be clear here, I should not have benched that Miraidon here. It makes absolutely no sense with the plan that I was going for. It could have actively lost me the match. I'll explain to you why. So my opponent has 3 cards left to draw and has not played an Iono. Well, has earlier, but has not played another one. So I'm assuming there's no more Iono. I'm hoping there's no more Iono. So what we're going to do is we're going to swing and play the waiting game. So I'm going to swing and force my opponent to use the V-Star ability. This is actually a moment where the other booster capsule would have been important, because I could have just attacked with the first attack there. Leaving it with a lot more. And putting 2 energy on Miraidon, and then attaching. Basically, I was 20 damage off from knocking that way, and I'm not sure if my opponent would have healed if I had done it that way. But they definitely would have healed because I did it this way. So we put up the sky. opponent's gonna knock him. We put the 2 on Iron Crown in case we need to retreat. As we will. So our opponent takes it. We're just gonna put up an Iron Crown and we're gonna pass. And this is just, does our opponent have a boss's orders? That's all it is. I love playing Does Our Opponent Have the Boss's Orders game. Now, we're obviously going to Super Rod so we don't deck out. Yep. Just end turn. Goes to our opponent's turn. And we're like, does their opponent have the boss with 11 cards in hand and having played none of them? Fun fact. Our opponent doesn't play boss at all. And with the thumbs up, we end our turn. We take the deck out. Who knew we were playing Snorlax Stall all along? And that's a really, really bad deck made by me. If you want to play it, go ahead. It's a deck. Enjoy.